this Yechidus, we were discussing various matters about university life, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, the Rebbe said, what do the students in London University do about kosher food? So I said, well, at that time, this was 1970, they're rebuilding Hillel House. It'll be finished in October. This was January. It'll be finished in October, and then there will be facilities. So the Rebbe looked at me, a piercing look. He says, so tell me, until October, is it permissible to eat non-kosher food?
Und zeigt verstandig betever kipshute in chochme von nefesh abami. Ad der tever hodom hängt op in amidach shuva. Bejese und dem Inne von dem Malcholim und dem Maschki, was esst und trinkt. Wollen das nasse damu bosse kipsore.
The Rebbe said, wouldn't it be a good idea to make a meal service and actively invite people to come and eat kosher food? So I got very enthusiastic and I warmed to the theme, and I said we could have lectures and guest speakers and be Makarev, bring the people closer generally. The Rebbe held up his hand and said, that's very nice and it may be a good idea, but that's not what I have in mind. What I have in mind with this suggestion is purely that a Jewish boy should sit eating a kosher meal next to a Jewish girl rather than eating a non-kosher meal next to a non-Jewish girl.
Ich schaue es mir hilft zu reden wegen der Masse von Jadus, von dem der Teher Kiyama Mitzvahs v'chulu. Wie kommt es, dass gefühlt sich in der Samen Schwal am Masse, wie mitteilt die Masse in Beziehung, von Messichte Seiteo, ein als Borei. Aber wie bald einmal zugehört mit Deilig sein in die Kashrut von Michael und Maschke, hat das Mädel gewähnt, Chunas Benefesh,
we collaborated with one of the then major restaurants in London. They were delivering meals to 3 colleges. I think it was London School of Economics, King's College and Imperial College in London. But the service was a tremendous success.
I'm having trouble with my faith, trouble with my faith and believing. And I was wondering how and when I could attain it.
For add more accuracy in your kashrut, in your eating, that it will be according to Shulchan Aruch.
Dat was schikkelend te Guatemala. Zaten we gezabeld van dat toch heen.
Dat na plekje barov. Dat na plekje barov, dat ze daar kosher essen, dat ze daar jedim.
My wife had just given birth to our 3rd son, and she had very bad varicose veins. And the doctor said it was a very common procedure and a very simple procedure in a sense, that they strip the veins away, the varicose veins away, and your body replaces them automatically, and it takes away the pain and all the problems of varicose veins. So that's what the doctors told my wife that she should do. So I called and I spoke to, I think, Rabbi Groner, told him what the doctors had said. The Rebbe gave a bracha. She should go ahead and do as the doctor said, and that you should check into the kashrut of your home. I never mentioned anything about kashrut to the Rebbe. Just out of the blue, he said I should check into the kashrut of my home. Now, to understand what this was, from the time we got married, we always had a kosher home. She insisted, it was fine with me, but I didn't believe in it.
Der Rotzen und der Achlote von der Akeres Abayis, von die was 4 Tonnen mit ne Huis, Allahas kamen mit der Kitchen, mit der Beisa Tafschil, geschah sie ist machlich, dass muss sein kosher, Michael und Maschke, kommen sie das Seichfielen betachlich verschleimus, Eba viele der Baal, if hat noch nicht bei der Tage von der Weh verstehen der Chivesador.
When we were in Texas, we had a very close group of friends, and we were constantly at each other's homes. And we had a rule in our house that whatever happened in the kitchen that Dina didn't know about didn't happen. We had this very expensive china and cast iron pots covered with enamel, and of course neither of these can be kosher. These were very expensive, thousands of dollars. We'd gotten them as wedding presents. And I didn't have the nerve to tell Dina that they really weren't kosher anymore. So because it came from the Rebbe, it gave me the strength, and I told Dina what had been going on in the kitchen. And we replaced them, we borrowed the money. We didn't have the money, we borrowed the money to buy new stuff. And now finally, thanks to the Rebbe, I was actually eating in a kosher home.
Rabbi, in the last about 2.5 years, I've got a pain in my body, like in my muscles, like a stiffness that moves around. I've been to doctors and the Abisters to Duncan, they've said there's nothing wrong with this or that, but I still get the pains from time to time. Could I ask you as well, Rebbe, if you don't mind, if I could have a bracha for that? It's been about 2.5 years.
Probably you must do something about the kashrut, about the observing the laws of kashrut. Maybe there is something wrong with Cholav Yisrael or Pas Yisrael. Certainly she is eating kosher because a good ma'achal mishteh maybe b'riyot u'nuchat ha'met.
My health is not 100%, and the tests don't show it, you see. Rather than I would so much like for a blessing that I can find the right thing that matters.
Probably to add something is observation of the laws of kashrut in your house. That all the food and beverages will be strictly kosher, and all these things will bring a betterment in your condition.
When I was living in Forest Hills, there was a couple who lived next door to me, Persian couple, very nice people. One day, a lady came to me, her name is Mrs. Sachai, and she said that her husband was diagnosed by Yenemachla. There was a growth in his throat that was growing, and the doctor said there's nothing to do. We cannot even operate. It's too intricately intertwined, and they cannot do anything about it. And he has either 2 to 3 months left to live. And I told her, nonsense. Doctors aren't supposed to say when you die, they're supposed to help you. So let me take you to the Rebbe. She says, you don't understand, we're not religious. We eat everything, we don't keep Shabbos. We're not religious. We stood in the lobby of 770, the husband, the wife, myself. The Rebbe came out of his room, and he stood in front of the husband. He gave him a bracha for refuah shlema, for healing. And in the note that I asked a bracha for him, he answered me to tell him to keep the laws of kashrus bidyuk, to keep kosher exact. I had 2 Persian Bachrim who came. One was Rabbi Elulian, one was Rabbi Rabini, came and kasher their homes. They started keeping everything, meat, milk separately, everything you can imagine. Miracle of miracles, 30 years went by, the tumor went away by itself. The doctors couldn't understand, how can this be? Because it just went away by itself.
My brother and my partner Reuven and his wife have just made it their home kosher. Do you have a message for them, Rebbe?
The message is that for every good thing that he is doing, the God Almighty will need to be in that, and he will reward him in many ways possible.
For my wife Rivka, who has faithfully followed me in my path on
This production is made possible through the generosity of the members of the GEM Foundation.
Gerät kam vor ihm, jeder Ried will sich haben ein Status in Kol Dover Tee, wo beloschen hat Kosovo. Cholver ani, wo Chol Asher Yeriucho, wo Shemre Pikudecho, und sich gefunden etliche Jiden, was auf Menadel gewesen als Schum, wo der Schum soll weggehen, aber ich schaue die, was wollen dürfen, übermachen, sie kaschern die Kehlen, sie geben neue Kehlen, sie geben als zweiten Set für Chulu. Ist das verbunden mit Hitzois, jeder, was wir zustellen, Bibel, zu etliche Schules von Arop. Als weiß, als ich mich kasche, die Kehlen, es hat gekostet, kach wie kach, und der Bibel, der Kniesa-Kehlen, die kaschern die Kehlen, wie Chulu, ist die Jiden haben gemacht, erkennen, Aber so decken, der Machtze, die 50% beloschen am Medine von der Zeus, der gedeckt werden von dem Kern. Aber viel als Schuhe, was sie haben gegeben, ist kommen, hoffen, dass das wird steigen, und nicht, wir dürfen da noch Maschlim sein, ist eine sichere Sache. A Mitzvah, geredes Mitzvah, mehem, Jira, wechen, Yasu, Kamo, Kamo, als sie da gefunden sich noch hin, was beschaut, dir das schon wird sich geschlossen. Und mit dem ganzen Vernutzen, Beifen und Homo, wird sicher nicht fällen kein Geld, auf Maschlim sein, die Macht, die Zeug, von die, was wollen zukommen, Leachel sein. Weil das ist gut, es heißt das, am Megid, Jippo, Ikea, Chorishus. Aber soll mit Farsen sein, Bechol, Mokim und Mokim, oder Reden, Beifen, Schelznius, über das Kineum, auf nicht zu verschämen jeden. Aber ich habe mich gehört, Machli sein, die, was bis ist, bei der Gewerde, an Orde, bei der Schlinke, die Bäume. Als die Kaschen, die Kirche, und käfen neue Kelim oder die Kaschen in der alte Kelim und käfen zwei Sets, wie mir ruft das da, und eine Basunder auf Bosser und eine zweite auf Cholo, sollen sie wissen sein, dass sie dürfen werden nicht wie haben. Eine kurze Briefe von dem Rauf, was gefindet sich in sehr Schule, und sie können zustellen die Briefe zu dem Maskirus da, oder zu den Meises Chabad, was gefunden sich bechol Katzwe Tevo. Und was sie hören sich ist dazu, zu hat die Rede, und gibt es den Lipokeach. Als sie so entdecken, macht es Haizois, und Echit Batuch hat das sein in der Neffen zu nur. Weil mit der Herze Rebe schicken die Briefe und dann noch in See verbrennen, die Benele bleibt da noch nicht gerechen und nicht hat sich damit was zu schämen. Ich habe es verschoben, warum nicht das nicht Megale sein und wie hier rotzen Amerikaner oder Haber soll sein, der Achille stehe. Und wenn lege der Damm und Bosser jüdische Kopf und jüdische Blut und jüdische Fleisch und jüdische Evrin und Allahs Kammer, wie Kammer jüdische Nishomes begonnen. Und soll Teil sein für Wasser machen rein und heilig und teier jeder jüdischen Guf und jeder jüdischen Neshome, weil Jodem bederich memele kol hoelam kule wird das bemela robbringen dem Hayem den Bekelis Ishmoa Kepshute wird das robbringen dem Hayem von Bias Mashiach Tzidkenu.
With materials from the Living Archive, established by the Rohr Family Foundation. Video collection preserved by Benjamin Federman in tribute to his parents.